All right, I think we're all set up. That was actually pretty easy tonight. Hello everyone, and welcome to Stamp with Shel. My name is Shel Anderson, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator located in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. Today we are going to be having a play with some of the DSP that's going to be retiring. This makes me very sad to see this stuff go. This is gorgeous, gorgeous paper. And as you can see, I'm well into my second package of this. This is the Regency Park 6x6 DSP, item number 160559. And we are playing with a bundle that is currently in the mini catalog, and it's going to be carrying over, but it's not going to be a bundle anymore. You're going to have to buy them separately. So if you like this, you should order this before the end of the month to get the bundle deal. And this is called Petal Park. So we're going to have a play with that. My ink colors today are Balmy Blue, Pale Papaya, and Misty Moonlight. And I pulled those colors right out of the DSP that I chose. Now, I know this is Night of Navy. I chose Misty Moonlight because I find the Night of Navy sometimes is too dark. I have a matte layer in Night of Navy, too, actually. And my card base is Pale Papaya. So let me get some adhesive here, and we will get started. If I can find, there it is. I am going to put this right on to the inside of my card, so I have a nice place to stamp my greeting. And you saw me hesitate there. That's because I thought I should put some flowers on this. Means I'm using a floral stamp set, but I already had the glue on there, so that doesn't help. So now we're going to take our bone folder and burnish that nice and flat. Do both sides. And now I'm going to take this DSP. I'm not giving you the measurements because I'm going to do a tutorial that will be on the blog post for you, so you don't have to worry about writing anything down. Now I'm just going to slide this into place so we have the same border on all sides. And that tombow gives me that second of wiggle room. And I'm going to put this piece right flush down. I'll pop up my second element, but this one I'm going to put right flush down, like so. And you see by doing that little border how that made that piece pop, eh? All right, we are going to do some stamping, and we are going to bring in our Stamparatus. And let me get it in the picture here. There are 2 leaf and 2 florals in here in the larger size. So I am going to do this one this time, and this one. Seeing as I've never used this before, we are going to figure this out together. What do you think of that? All right. Let me get a magnet on there. And we're going to pop that on there. Something like that. Now, if you look at my DSP here, the leaves in here are Balmy Blue. I am going to attempt something we may be cutting another piece of paper because, like I said, we are going to try this together. I am going to ink this up in Balmy Blue, and we'll give that a stamp. And now I am going to attempt, I don't know if this is going to work or not. I am going to, let me get this into the camera view so you can see everything. I'm going to attempt to use my Stampin' Right marker and color just the larger leaves with the Misty Moonlight. See if you can just bear with me a second. I'd like to leave a little bit of that balmy blue in there. So as you can see, I am just flicking color onto this stamp with my marker. We'll probably have to do this twice, and if this doesn't work, what I'll do is I'll just ink it up in, I just huffed on that so it would re-moisten any ink that had dried. And don't want that paper to move. Yeah, no, that's not going to be a good plan. We could be here all night doing that, so we are just going to switch over. Actually, I'm going to completely turn this over to make my life easy. Now, where did I have that? Something like that. And I am going to flip it over to the Misty Moonlight ink, and we'll ink it all up. Maybe I'll take a balmy blue marker and add some color to something in there, just to bring that color in. I think I'll stamp that one more time, just to make sure it's good and dark. There we go. Beautiful. All right. That's stamping done. Let's take that off of there before we have a catastrophe. I'm going to close this up, and we are going to stamp our flowers next. So I'm just going to turn my plate over and get that card out of the way in case it touched. And I have some scrap here, and we are going to grab those beautiful flowers. Now we should take a look at this punch as to where the position is. So we want the big flower on the right. There we go. All right, let's pick up our flower. Let's do it down at the bottom and be smart so I don't have to cut the cardstock. We'll get it all figured out. And now we're going to ink it up in Pale Papaya. I think I grabbed the wrong stamp for what I wanted. I'm going to try the other one. Those ones are a little bit wonky. Let's try this one. So we'll do this one opposite so that I can punch it from the other end. And we'll decide which flowers we want. once again, we're going to use the pale papaya. Yes. Maybe we'll use some on the inside and some on the outside. How about that? That would be cool. All right, I'm going to pull this off. We'll set this aside and I will clean that afterwards. And we're going to punch out our flowers. Now, I am just going to be on the safe side and I'm going to cut this down the middle. I don't want to risk not punching correctly. That looks pretty good. Flying flowers. All right. And we'll flip this around and do the same thing with these ones. Let me get these lined up. That looks good. All right. Now, I just had a thought. Imagine the concept. Me stamping on the fly. We don't have a greeting. So I need to find a greeting. And I need something. How about I grab this greeting that says "Just Because" from the True Beauty bundle. And I'm going to grab a block and we'll go with Misty Moonlight. I've got a little strip here that we can stamp our greeting on. Fingers crossed. Beautiful. I'm happy with that. All right, let me get that over with the Stamparatus. I think we're ready. All right, I am going to put these two pieces together. For our little art panel. We'll center that up. Now, I know how I'm going to bring the balmy blue in. I am going to use the dots. There's a little tiny dot stamp. So I am just going to sprinkle some of these dots here, there, and everywhere. And yes, you just saw me go off the edge. That was intentional because I don't want it to look too matchy-matchy. There we go. Oh, maybe some more down here at the bottom. There, kind of takes that and pulls it all together. We'll put that one over with the Stamparatus. And now we're going to bring our card back in. And I'm just going to lay this here for a minute because I don't know exactly what I'm doing here. Imagine that. All right. So we have, ooh, that looks nice. Maybe I'll do these ones on the inside. And I'll do these ones on the outside. See how nicely that fills in? I think that's what I'm going to do. All right, let me grab some dimensionals. And I know that the big one I'm definitely going to put right there in the middle. Like so. And happens if I put this guy peeking out from underneath? Wanna try something here. Actually, there. Oops, that dimensional's now showing. That's not so good. Let me get that off of there. Holy mother. It is stuck, my friends. Wow, that is one super strong dimensional. All right, I need another one, and it has to go under farther. There we go. Now, this guy. We're going to pop him right there. And then that little one we're just going to put at the top. Don't know whether I can get a full dimensional on this one or not. Yep. We're just going to pop him off there. All right. I'm going to bring in some embellishments for this card. And I want navy blue. Is what there they are, the enamel dot essentials. I think those are going to make great centers for these flowers. Now, this may be an opportunity to use one of those big ones. And then we're going to have to go down in size. Oh, isn't that pretty? Ooh, love it. All right. We need some dimensionals on the back of this. But I think I'm going to bring in some ribbon. I'm just kind of getting ideas and adding things to this card as I go. And one in the middle. We'll just lay this out. I have this greeting that can go anywhere here. We can cut it down. We can do whatever we want. Those are going to go on the inside. But I've got some of that balmy blue ribbon. Bear with me a second. I have to go behind me and get it. My fancy microphone setup here, back on. This is the navy bordered ribbon number 160581. I think that would be beautiful on there. But do I want it just as a bow, or do I want it underneath and tied off to the side? If I did that, perhaps we get to see more of those flowers. I think that's what I'm going to do. All right, let's guesstimate this. And it's the same on both sides. I love this ribbon. It is so easy to work with. I have plenty. All right, I'm going to take the backs off of those dimensionals. And we are going to see, actually I'm going to take that out of there. I'll fish it through because I need to eyeball this. I want to get it right on. Maybe I will. Maybe I won't. I want it right on that blue border. There we go. That worked out. Now I just have to fish this ribbon through there. And as you can see, I cut way too much. All right, let's see if I can do a bow, or it may become a knot. It just depends on how the bow turns out. But usually with this ribbon, it's pretty good. Fuss a little bit with that. All right, I like that. I'm going to bring in my ribbon scissors and trim some tails. And now we need glue dots. Glue dots. Because we don't like any messy tails. One little glue dot will take care of each of these tails. And then I'll know where to trim them. That one's okay. This one's a little wonky. We'll take that and just trim it down. And we will have our ribbon all done up. All right, we're nearing the end, my friends. Let's see what we have so far. We just have our greeting to deal with. And I think I'm going to trim that down. And what am I going to do with that? I've got a punch here. This is the Lovely Labels punch. Let's see what I can do. I think we'll go this way. And maybe if I turned it over, it would be helpful. I don't want to cut off my words. There we go. Oh, we got to keep going. We got a long way to go because I want this much shorter. All right, that's not working for me. I don't have the patience for that one tonight. So we're going to our little mini paper trimmer and we're going to just trim this down like so. I'm going to take a little bit off the top edge because I think I am going to mat this. And we'll take a little bit off the bottom edge. All right, and I have some Night of Navy scrap here somewhere, if I can find it under all these punches. Let's move this out of the way. There's a little piece of scrap. All right, let's see what we can do. That's about half an inch. Let's try 3/4. We'll put that at 3/4 of an inch and chop it. And then this is about 2.5 and a bit, so we'll go 2 7/8. See what that does. Oh, that's good. Might take a little smidge off that. I think it's going to be too wide. So we'll take it down a bit. Yes, we just have a little shadow. So I'm going to glue that on and then we'll trim off the excess with our paper snips. Get a little tombow on there. just that little wee bit of shadow around the outside is going to make that pop a little bit. So we will trim that down, maybe a little bit more. There we go. Now we're going to need some more dimensionals. And I'm going to put one at each end and try to put this at the top. This is where I'd like to put this, up here. Kind of cool, eh? Let's do it. Just because. There we are. Now we have these 3 flowers. This, I think if I did this again, I would do stamp on colored cardstock. Like if I stamped on the papaya cardstock with navy ink, I think it would be much, much nicer. So I'm just going to put a couple of these in here. Oh, let's use them all. We have them, let's use them. That little one would be lonely in the bits box. All right, I think I'm going to grab a Misty Moonlight dark marker and I'm going to touch those centers. Just so it's coordinated with the ones that are on the front of the card. All right, there we have it. My friends, we are done. That is our Petal Park card. That's my first one. And I used the Regency Park Retiring, it's now While Supplies Last, and I used the navy bordered ribbon. And I think that turned out absolutely gorgeous. I love it. All right, that is it for tonight, my friends. Have a crafty evening. Bye-bye.